You know, when winter hits, that chill can feel pretty harsh, but it also has this amazing way of revealing a different kind of warmth. The warmth you find in kindness, in your home, and in connecting with other people. In this explainer, we're going to dive into a story that really uncovers this hidden beauty.
So the story kicks off by painting this really vivid picture of a quiet, cold December morning. The world is all hazy and slow, just wrapped in this thick blanket of fog. I mean, it's a scene that I think a lot of us can probably relate to, right?
All right, so for our first section, we're just going to dive right in and soak up this atmosphere. We're going to try and understand that powerful feeling of the cold, just like it's described in the story.
It all starts with the wind. The story has this amazing way of describing it as a force that scatters silence. Think about that. It creates this unique stillness in the city, a cold so deep you can almost feel it in your bone.
And then you've got the fog. And this isn't just, a weather condition, it's a whole mood. It kind of blurs the edges of the world, slows down the pace of life, and turns everything familiar into something a little mysterious and quiet. The landscape itself is described as starkly beautiful. Those fallen yellow leaves, they're not just a sign that autumn is over. They're described as a blanket of cold on the ground, a really vivid carpet that just defines the season.
And right in the middle of all this, we meet our main character, Ali. Now, he isn't fighting the cold, he's watching it. He actually sees this season as a kind of gift, a time when life slows down, giving him this rare moment to just think and reflect.
But here's the thing, even with all that cold outside, the story points to these small but powerful pockets of warmth. You've got the steam rising from Ali's tea, a feeling of inner peace, and the sound of the morning prayer just cutting through that silence. These little details really become anchors of comfort.
Okay, so let's move on, because this is where Ali's quiet, personal moment turns into something much bigger, a powerful outward act of warmth.
And this is where everything changes. The whole story just pivots right here. Ali's peaceful morning is interrupted when he sees someone else's struggle. He spots an elderly man, just wrapped in a thin sheet, shivering against the harshness of the season.
I love this part. It kind of breaks down the anatomy of a kind act into 3 simple yet profound steps that I think we can all recognize. You see something, you feel something, and then you do something. Observation, empathy, and action.
So what does Ali do? He goes inside, grabs an extra shawl, and offers it to the man. His words are just as simple and direct as the act itself. And the story tells us the elderly man's eyes just shone with thanks and blessings in return.
And this is such a huge moment for him. It's this major shift in how he sees things. For Ali, the cold is no longer just a physical thing. It's a catalyst for human connection. The hardship itself is what created the opportunity for compassion.
All right, so from that powerful moment on the street, the story now pulls us inside, inviting us to explore a completely different, but just as powerful kind of warmth.
And wow, the contrast here is just captured so perfectly. Outside, you've got the harsh winds and the biting cold, but inside, the world is filled with the warmth of a mother's stories, the smell of roasting peanuts, and this just undeniable feeling of love and safety.
The story describes this absolutely beautiful scene of the family gathered around a fire, an enkeri, and you just know this fire is providing more than just heat, right? It's the center of gravity for connection, for storytelling, for sharing moments that build this deep emotional security against the world outside. Okay, for our last section, let's look at how all of this builds up to something deeper, a more philosophical understanding of what the winter season can really teach us.
So the story suggests that maybe winter's greatest lesson is about patience, or sabah. It draws this beautiful parallel between nature and us. Just like plants go dormant, lying quiet under the soil, winter gives us a chance to pause, to look inward, and to reflect on our own lives.
And this, of course, is such a powerful metaphor for life, isn't it? The cold, the darkness, the hardship, it's all temporary. Winter is like this physical reminder that this phase is necessary, and that it always gives way to the renewal and hope of spring.
So, if we were to boil it all down, the wisdom of the story really comes down to a few key ideas. That a light of hope can burn even in the coldest times, and that the truest, most lasting warmth, well, it doesn't come from the sun, it comes from human connection.
And this brings us right back to where we started. In a way, back to Ali and his simple act of kindness. The story wraps up with this profound idea. When we care for others during their hard times,
we don't just give away warmth. We're actually lighting a lamp that illuminates our own lives too. So, as we wrap this up, the story doesn't just end. It leaves us with a question. It turns this whole narrative about Ollie into a personal reflection for every single one of us. It's a gentle challenge, really, to look for opportunities to share our own warmth. So, this winter, where will you bring light?